Okay, admittedly, I skipped the part where Dash and Twilight were talking because I figured you guys would want to hear a more heartwarming scene between Twilight and Rainbow Dash, where Twilight would agree to it. Because what was in its place is so utterly stupid, it's unforgivable. What really happened was after Rainbow Dash made the offer and said that I'm going to train you unless I die trying, Twilight starts sobbing up a storm, going, "But I can't." And after Dash gives her a friendly nuzzle, Dash says ever, and Twilight continues to sob, worse than what people think Senji's like. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Twilight's officially making Senji look manly. No. It's making first 10 episodes of Gundam Armor Array look like she has balls. That is how Twilight's acting. And it's so out of character for her. She's so busy going, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, I'm a failure, boo-hoo. And not once thinking that she could ask Rainbow Dash. Not once. Vic, why do you hate Twilight so much? Come on. I thought Maiken hated Twilight. I thought Maiken hated her. But you hate her more than him. Because at least Maiken just killed her off. You are dragging her through the mud. You hate her so much. So why? Why do you hate her? Come on, Vic, give it out. Because it's obvious that you despise her. And of course, the most you're seeing right now, guys, is just them doing some more investigation. They find a body, and apparently they say that Rarity is in business with the Diamond Dogs. Oh no, like, it's supposed to be a secret or something. Let's see what else is on. Hello, and welcome to my D&D channel. Tonight, we present to you a brand new story. You guys up for some story time? Of course you are. This is just my experience with a freeform RP a while back, and I think it's time I share it. It's been a long time, so sorry some of the details are a bit hazy, but I remember the important parts. Behold, the Ballad of Edgardo. Got hankering for some RP, cruise a couple of forums. Something catches my eye. Some kind of weird combination of stuff from DBZ, Gurren Lagann, Avatar The Last Airbender, a few other themes from different shows. Basically, Animu, the game. Honestly, kind of a cool setting after reading it. Superpowered dudes wander around doing their own thing, having adventures, trying to stop evil shadows from consuming the world. Looks cool. Let's sign up and start making a character. Characters had attributes. Strength, speed, the usual set. Traits, powers chosen from a big list, and spirit, which you use for doing cool shit. Huh, actually sounds like an interesting setup. Had a certain number of points to spend on attributes, max strength to put into speed, endurance, and a couple in charm. Wanted to be a brawler type guy. I'll get to why that was a bad one later. Look at spirit rules before picking powers. Decided I wanted to do as much cool shit as possible. Spend spirit to activate powers. Different powers modified how spirit worked. Gave an elemental alignment, which modified damage and other crap. Basically, you spend 1 point of spirit to get 5 points of fire damage. Neat. There's also raw spirit, which had no modifier, but also no elemental alignment, could be resisted. Less bang for your buck, but could be useful. Raw spirit could be used to raise the stat temporarily, but the higher the stat, the more spirit you had to spend. Spirit had a cap depending on your attributes. At low levels, it was pretty low, like 10 or 20 if you got lucky. With my stat layout, I had 5. Awesome. Look through the powers list and see if I can unscrew my character. Browse through the list, eat basic stuff. Throw fire, control shadows, frost breath, whatever. Also mundane powers like sword fighting and free running. Choose unarmed combat right off the bat, because I want to punch people. Still a bad idea. Keep looking, see something interesting tucked away in the list. Overflowing Spirit. Plenty expensive point-wise for a simple power, but my eyes lit up at what it did. Removes the spirit gap. Plus some other crap which I glanced over time. Bit more on that in a bit. Huh. If I was playing this, I would probably try to see how I could combine this with at least one other teeny power. Combinations work well. Oh fuck, now that's pretty usable. Usable. Figure everyone takes it, so I take it too. Take Battle Cry for its spirit buff, and blow the last of my power points. Character pretty much done. Name it Edgardo, because it sounded cool at the time. Ready to go? Edgardo, the brawler, sets out on his quest to do whatever. Start in Central Town, where everyone else hangs out. Introduce myself. Describe him as a hot-blooded, hot-tempered, courageous, and always itching for adventure. Honestly, pretty flat character. Hey, we all start somewhere. But whatever. I thought he was okay. Probably get laughed at for making such a naive and lowbrow character. Okay, this is the first mistake these guys made. I get it. We all see the embarrassing character. The edgelord, the guy who likes to copy whatever's popular at Critical Role or likes to sit around in the corner. Heck, I've got a couple of characters who do that. One of my teammates in one of my sessions does that. The thing is, you don't go outright and make fun of the person for that. The person could be doing that just for trolling, or it could be their first character and they think it's original. The best way to handle that isn't to make fun of them, but start your character off understanding him. Talk to them. Like, for instance, that companion made a typical dark and brooding rogue type character. So I had my sorcerer first talk to him and understand him for a bit. It was only after time had passed did I finally get right into the mood, my sorcerer, to what type of character he wanted to be. And how I was going to make fun of him. You need to build up to it. Build trust, like with anybody. Apparently everyone has made brooding anti-heroes who sit in dark corners and really don't do much of anything. I swear the tavern had to be some kind of eighth dimensional shape, because everyone was in their own fucking corner, away from everyone else. This is the point where you start riffing. The last straw came from some asshole drinking his wine at the bar. And Argo is such a stupid name anyway. Motherfucker. Gargo did not walk in here to be mocked by a bunch of trench coat wearing pricks that are trying to be edgier than a goddamn razor blade factory. Take a swing, and suddenly discover I am well and truly butt fucked. Apparently, unarmed combat was hosed from the start, as fists don't do shit against even the lightest armor, and don't get damage multipliers. Fantastic. Low spirit point doesn't get past his armor, do single digit damage. Fucker Lassus stands up. Kills it today again, you pathetic wretch. Use battle cry. Can't think of anything, so I go with Bullseye! Use the rest of my spirit points. Nothing. He dodges, draws his sword, gives an eye rolling disappear before he blasts me out of the tavern with sword lightning, whatever the fuck. He spends one spirit for that, and I nearly get one shot, even with a good amount of endurance. Fucking what? So, while I'm bleeding out the side of the road, I take the time to browse other characters. First up is Sword Lightning Asshole. Basically same level as me, but better in every way. Powers are better, higher spirit, good stats. More my fault, really, because I fucked up character creation. Browse more characters. Know something. No one has overflowing spirit. No one. Ask why. Turns out if you make a decent character, you have more than enough spirit to do whatever the fuck you want. Even the highest level characters only have a 100 cap, and it's rare to get halfway down in a normal fight. Then there's the part I skipped over. Overflowing spirit prevented you from taking elemental powers. You're basically stuck with raw spirit, which was shit. Please nerf. Elemental spirit had damage modifier so high that even if you resisted it, you still took a good amount of damage. Nita burrito. Edgardo was basically useless against everything. Since I was screwed, I PM'd the mod to see if I could make a new character that wasn't crippled beyond belief. Lol, you deal with it. You made it, you play it. And this is mistake number 2. As a DM, you need to be considerate. Role-playing in D&D is a group activity. You need to get everyone on board. You shouldn't be a jerk. Unless this person deserved it, but he didn't. And sometimes when people are just starting out, they're going to make mistakes. The best thing to do at that time is to sit down and talk. And if they want to change it so bad, let them. I it's common sense, but if one person ain't having fun, then there's a chance that other people aren't as well. It happens. So, recap. Everyone's pretentious fuckwad, the mods don't give a shit, and Edgargo's beyond worthless. Great start. Pick myself out of the dirt and limp away to get myself healed. Nope, I was broke, so I couldn't get shit. I had to sit my ass down and wait to heal naturally, which would take days. Fuck that. I'm already tired of this shit, so I make an attempt to steal a potion. No. Enter Militant X0. Yes, that was his name. I cringed too. Omnipotent character number 4782. Could do anything he wanted because he had been with the RP the longest. I also suspect he sucked the admin's dick, but whatever. Teleports to me instantly. I can't do shit because I'm already dead on my feet. Lifts me into the air with magic bullshit. Can't even run. Starts going on a long speech about crime and how evildoers should be punished and how he's the best and blah blah blah. He then gives me an ultimatum. Beg me for mercy, and I might let you stay in this town. Otherwise, I'll throw you to the shadows. Fuck no. Edgardo does not beg. Struggle, swear, spit, and basically do everything I can to do anything to get out of this. Nope. I get thrown through the roof of the building I was in, soar all the way out into the wilderness. Well, I'm dead. Fortunately, newbies get 1 free revive, and I cast mine in. Zero gets a super fucking butt mad about it. Says I'm dead for good because he says so, and wah. Call him out as bullshit. Immediately gets shot down by everyone in the community. Suddenly, I'm the bad guy for trying to steal and picking a fight. Yeah, okay. Mods calm everyone down. Say I'm alive with 1 health in the wilderness. Last bit of charity I'm getting. I won't even survive the night. But then I met a guy called Squid. These folk were a thing, so people could have cat girls, wolf men, shit like that. A guy called Squid was, well, part squid. Literally, just big muscular dude with a squid for a head. And yes, his full name was a guy called Squid. And he insisted everyone call him that. Pretty cool dude. Ran into the same troubles I did. Was a punchy guy like myself, but he punched people with fire. Helped me out, shared a potion, and was generally a bro. We both decided to stick together and train out here, because we both needed to get a lot stronger before we headed back into town. It wasn't going to be that easy. Got to the nighttime, and me and Squid had set up camp in a cave. Suddenly, shadows because mod bullshit and Zero whined through enough that I was still alive. I was basically pretty fucked up. I could hold my own, and Squid was in perfect shape. Still, we barely survived, mainly because Squid's fire damage was beastly. We both agreed we wouldn't survive another night like that, so we hightailed it out of there and back to town. Yeah, no. Invisible force field prevented us from going back in. I wasn't surprised. Looked at the map and found a nearby town to hold up. Take a couple of days to get there, and we were both out of supplies. None of us saw any other way, so we got to walking. An Argo and a guy called Squid. Those 2 guys on the road to adventure. You know, if this was an anime, I could see this being the first 3 episodes. On the road to not dying horribly. and somehow getting petty revenge, but whatever. Normally, when people travel, there were random events that could either be good or bad for you. It was up to the mods how much the mods liked you, really. The mods didn't like Squid or Edgardo. If we got something good, they'd find some way to take it from us. We saved the lady from bandits on the first day. And by that, I mean we kicked the bandits in the nuts, grabbed the lady, and ran like hell. That night, she prison tagged Squid, took what little shit we had gathered, and bailed. When I tried to chase her, she poofed. Gone. Burrito, burrito. I really don't know why we kept going after that. It was obvious we were unwanted, so we really should have just quit. I think we were both waiting on the other one to give in first. I didn't want to admit defeat, and I knew Squid didn't want to either. So we just had to press on, no matter what. Even when we met Sword Lightning Eye again. And then a few days on the road, and we kept getting shit on. Wolves, rain, another shadow attack. Still don't know how we lived, but we scraped by. Either by running the fuck away or through sheer luck and winning a fight. One more day of traveling would be at the village. We were so close we could taste it. But then the dick from the tavern showed up, blocking the road. Never mind how he got ahead of us, but he was, and we had to take it. If it isn't the restaurant tavern, and he picked himself up a side dish too. Squid tells him to take a hike and let us through. But this is a toll road, and you'll have to pay me to pass. Let's say 1,000 gold. Fucking what? Tell me he's full of shit and nobody has that much money. Ugh, what a shame. You'll have to pay with your lives. He pulls his sword and blasts Squid, who somehow powers through it. This gives me a chance to get up close. And, well, we established I could do fuck all against this guy. I'm banged up pretty good and fists don't do shit. The only thing I have left is spirit. A metric ton as a spirit. See, as we were traveling, I was hoarding points. Well, not intentionally. I gained some every day like everyone else, and every time Squid and I killed something, we got a little bit more. Squid was spending his spirit left and right. I wasn't. And since I had overflowing spirit, I had a lot more points than I had any right to at my level. Even if raw spirit was crap, a lot of crap could still wreck someone's day. And Dargo had a chance. A slim chance. But it was better than nothing. Banzai! Battle cry. Used all of that spirit. Crowd for an uppercut. Stork Guy didn't give a shit. As he laughed in my face and didn't even make an attempt at dodge. You're kidding, right? We've been through this. You can't touch me. You're the only one laughing, asshole. My fist connects with his chin, and so does all that raw spirit. It didn't do nearly as much damage as an elemental attack would, but it was still enough to knock him on his ass. Which gave Squid the perfect setup. He jumped on Sword Guy and blew all of his spirit too. Once there had been a face, was now a smoking crater. Sword Guy died, and 2 underlings to boot. Predictably, he bits the fit, and so did the rest of the players. We were murderers and outlaws and generally horrible. See, folks, this is what it happens when you're a jerk. For deciding not to deal with this bullshit anymore. You remember how I continue pointing out, folks, that one of the problems with stuff like Mike is fixed that he's expecting everybody to just go, what do you Beast Boy's mean? I'm going to take it. Or, wow, Beast Boy's insulting us. We're just going to sit back and nod. When real people would deck the son of a bitch. Behold what a real person would do. Me and Squid didn't give a single fuck. We had earned our first actual victory. Sure, we were nearly dead, defenseless, and still had to make it to the village. But we won. Things were looking up. At least for a little while. And we still had to worry about Zero and his crap. Zero was kind of king or tyrant, overlord, or whatever. And this village was still in his little authority zone. So when we finally arrived at the village, guess what special surprise is waiting for us? If you guessed invisible, immune to everything force field, congratulations. Give yourself a gold star. And for good measure, he teleports in and taunts us, saying he'll follow us until we're broken and mad and shut the fuck up already. He cackles and ports away. Squid falls to his knees. He's had enough. We came all this way. all for nothing. You see, this would be about episodes 5 or 7 if this was a 13-episode series. Sure, we beat someone, but we beat Rez in perfect health the next day. What do we do now? Squid was ready to quit. Edgardo wouldn't have it. We train, Squid. We train. We hiked up a nice grassy hill near the village, and then proceeded to beat the ever-loving crap out of each other. Whenever you got in a point, you got a fight. You got a couple of points towards leveling, win or lose. The only problem is that most characters couldn't spar with one another, as they kill each other pretty quickly. Elemental attacks and weapons combined had huge damage multipliers, so sparring would quickly end up with people dead. We didn't have any weapons, and unarmed combat would take days of wailing someone to actually kill them. The only reason Squid was alright was because of his firepower. So long as we didn't use any spirit, we could beat each other silly, pass out, wait a while to heal, and do it all over again. It was stupid, it was cheesy, it pissed everyone off, but it fucking worked. Some said the shadows would attack us, but we're just close enough to the village they couldn't. Still not sure why Zero or even the mods let us get away with this shit. Guess they didn't see it as anything actually be worried about. Eventually we leveled up though. It was a slow process. There were better ways of leveling, but this was all we have had. Plus, it gave me another fuck ton of spirit points. Naruto pumped up enough strength first, and eventually distributed the rest. Got power to double the rate once he gained spirit per day. I had a plan. Squid just buffed his fire fists. Good way to go. Now we just had to find somewhere to rest up properly. Somewhere to regroup. We couldn't just stay and wail on each other for another level. We got lucky the first time. But then now there was talk of a few other players jumping us. We had to move. None of us knew where the hell we were going, what we were doing. Just hit the road and tried to get as far away from Zero and everyone as we could. The mods fucked with us for the first few days, but eventually they just got bored and left us alone. Sometimes they throw a few shadows our way, but it was nothing we couldn't handle. Random events just stopped happening for us. I think it was mainly due to us not really bugging anyone anymore. We were doing our own thing, so everyone just sort of forgot about us. Except Zero. He was still mighty pissy about me living this long. I had no idea what his deal was. Maybe it was just a challenge to his authority that I represented. Or maybe he was just a colossal prick. Either way, once we left his authority zone, or whatever, he sent one of his lackeys after us. A quick look at his character sheet, and I knew just how much Zero hated us. His name was Golden Harl, and the dude was basically invincible. Magic armor let him resist all elements massively. Plus, it was super light, so he could fly around and do ninja flippy shit. He could heal himself completely by spending a couple of spirit, and his spirit refreshed basically whenever he wanted it to. It was official. The mods just didn't give a shit. Oh, and we were screwed too. All we could do was keep going forward and hope he didn't catch up to us. He did. Damn quick too. He met us while we were traveling along a gorge, and promptly tried to knock me over the side. Goldenheart wasn't fucking around. No words. Only pain. He meant business. I barely managed to dodge him. Was of course met with public outcry, but I was dangerously close to the edge. Squid tried to fire punch with a couple of spear behind it. No cell. Goldenheart got a free counterattack because fuck you, he's Goldenheart. Squid was knocked down. It gave me an opening. I grabbed Goldenheart by his waist and gave him a suplex. My high strength let me get in a few points of damage, put me in better position. Didn't really matter though, as he was back up and fully healed a second layer. I held Squid up, and we were pretty much already dead. Goldenheart finally spoke up. Banzai. The fucker was wide open. His back was to the edge of the cliff too. A quick PM to Squid was all it took, and a quick plan went off like clockwork. Squid ran diversion, going in for a fire punch to the face. Goldenheart didn't bother to dodge. He was invincible after all. He forgot one thing. Raw spirit can't be resisted. And Argo went in for a gut punch, with all that built-up spirit for training in the road. It wasn't enough to kill Goldenheart, not by a long shot, but it was enough to knock him backwards. And that last step was a doozy. Golden Harl fell down into the canyon. We only stayed long enough to hear the dull thud of him hitting the ground. I could practically hear Zero grinding his teeth to powder as he tattled to the mods. We didn't really care enough to do anything. Surprisingly, I barely heard anything from Golden Harl's player. Does a simple PM saying, well played. I almost felt sorry he had to meet his end like that. And after that, we were pretty much free to keep going until we hit another village. Zero couldn't get to us here, so no shield and no bullshit. We could finally rest. Well, maybe. We were still broke. There was a small army of players after us. Apparently, Goldenheart was a pretty popular character. By killing him, we were now on top of everyone's hit list. Fantastic. Squid sat in an alley, and I kept watch, trying to get a plan together. We basically come up with some unspoken agreement. Squid was tired of Zero's shit, and so was I. We wanted him dead and broken. The problem was that two low-level characters could do fuck all against the guy. His level was literally listed as an affinity sign. When Squid took watch, I read over the fluff of the setting, looking for something, anything that could help us. I found it in the city of Haven. Haven was the second biggest city in the setting. That's barely smaller than Zero's place. It's kind of a big deal, though. See, it was home to the Spirit Well. It was a font of power that everyone flocked to. As long as you were in Haven, your spirit points recharged instantly, up to your cap. I didn't have a cap. I still wonder how anybody in their right mind missed this little detail of overflowing spirit. It was just set up so perfectly. Maybe I was being a massive that guy for exploiting this like I did, but I don't really care. Everyone but a few people were complete assholes, and I wanted their little cup destroyed. It was petty, it was stupid, it was probably hurtful to a few people, but Edgardo had a mission, and a guy called Squid was going to help him see it through. If he ever got to Haven in one piece. Oh, and during the fight with Golden Harl, I can imagine, say, like the opening to Shao skill playing or the second open to Sayuki. I swear we were the only two people following the traveling rules, because the horde of players chasing us caught up to us a lot quicker than they should have. We had half a day to rest up before we had to hit the road again. I was useless without a build-up spirit. A squid could only fend off so many before he died. The only route to Haven was a long, winding road through the mountains. We'd be ambushed if we tried to set up camp anywhere. It'd take too long, and time wasn't on their side. So Argo had a crazy idea. What if he climbed over the mountains? It was basically suicide, as the random events were basically harsh in that terrain, and no one would follow us. After all, something might happen to their super special characters. Squid was on board. Brought up an interesting point. The mods were ignoring us. Everyone was so pissed off at us, but in the grand scheme of things, we hadn't really done anything major. We killed a grand total of 2 characters through sheer luck and broken mechanics. I had basically given their idol Zero a giant middle finger for simply surviving as long as I had. And Zero could only suck so much cock. So we started climbing, making rolls and getting through by the skin of our teeth. Every once in a while, a mod would glance over and make shit hard for us. But overall, we didn't have too much trouble. That's because trouble was waiting for us on the other side of the mountain. From our perks, we got a few of the players coming for us. There was no way we could take them all, and we waited to just get to heaven and wait for us there. There was the guy waiting just underneath us. Golden Harl, back from the dead. He must have flushed him out of the canyon and had him rezzed. Or maybe he survived the fall and healed, who knows. We know he saw us, but he didn't move. He could have just jumped up at any time he wanted and murdered us right then and there. But he didn't. After a while, Squid got tired of waiting. He climbed down, and then Argo followed to have his back in case things went south. Squid asked him what he wanted. Goldenharl just wanted to talk. Turns out he had more to his story than we knew about. Goldenharl was in this RP just as long as Zero was. Frankly, he was tired of Zero's shit. Goldenharl earned everything he had. He didn't have to resort to whining to the mods to get what he wanted. When we asked why he tried to kill us, he said it was either follow Zero's orders or get his shit soaked in. In a one-on-one fight, Goldenharl just couldn't compete. Yeah, because Zero could do whatever the fuck he wanted, and no one batted an eye. After we killed him, he was basically done. He was satisfied with the ending he got. But Zero revived him and sent him to kill us again. Golden Harl had other plans, though. Squid was suspicious, but I believed him. I'm still not sure why. Maybe I was desperate, but I told him our plan. Technically, I told everyone our plan, as it was one of the public threads. I'm an idiot, sue me. Why do I imagine that we got a manly handshake going on here? Governor Harl said he could get us to Haven. His story was over, and he ceased giving a single fuck about what anyone else had to say. He had only one condition. He had to promise we kill Zero and end this once and for all. And Argo and Squid agreed. This was our only shot, and we were about to throw it away. A massive shitstorm erupted from the player base as we joined up with Golden Harl. This isn't anime right now. Two weak players teaming up, going off on an adventure, an evil tyrant, a hard as nails, cool, badass rival character, falls, joins up with our heroes, an evil, overwhelming, demonic threat. I love it. Zero called him a traitor to everything the RP stood for. And everyone made such a fuss that the mods nearly banned the guy. Golden Harl had been a slave with the mods too. He got lucky as shit when he took his side and pointed out that he'd done nothing wrong. With the mods appeased, that just left the army of players gunning for us. The second we hit the road, they were on us. There was no fucking around anymore. Travel rules were basically out of the picture. A horde of superpowered loners and misfits charged towards us, flinging fire and lightning and all manner of weapons, all of them driven by their singular hatred of Edgardo, a guy called Squid, and the traitor Golden Harl. Golden Harl weathered the tie, taking kunai and fireballs and shadow spears without so much flinching. Because fuck you, he's Golden Harl. Me and Squid ran behind Golden Harl as he cleared a path, getting us to the other side of the army. As we kept going down to the path, Golden Harl stayed behind, covering our escape. To this day, I do not know if he survived or not. I will never forget his bravery. Since everyone else was doing it, we ignored travel rules ourselves, arriving at Haven near instantly. Zero bitched. No one heard him. There was one last obstacle, though. One last player. Kine, the Shadow Master. Mancer. This fucking guy. Yeah, apparently he controls Shadow. His interpretation of what this did was very loose. And since he was in Haven, he abused it like nobody's business. As soon as we set foot in the city, Squid and me instantly got paralyzed. We call him as bullshit. Not sure why. I control the darkness. People's hearts. The darkness in everyone's soul. You are mine. Oh, he a bag of dicks. Squid tells him that's not how it works. Kine isn't listening because it's his power, and he says that's how it works. And wee. Meanwhile, I just sit back and ask myself a question. Why can't I hold all this spirit? Spend infinite spirit, break Kane's hold, brace for the whining. How? You can't resist me. The darkness is in everyone's heart. Okay, said Argos, tired to be teasing. You are wrong. My soul is a shining beacon, filled with a light and burning hope that no shadow can touch. It is a pinpoint of justice, a shining star that will deliver freedom to the universe. I will root out the darkness, the evil of this land. No shadow will be spared my light! King just can't comprehend how he's about to lose. He tries to shout paralyze this thing again. No cell. Infinite spirit. Who the hell do you think you're dealing with? Banzai! A swift uppercut, battle cry, unlimited raw spirit punch. Kind gets punched into the sun. Q's ship being lost by everyone again. Squid is okay. We rest up and figure out our next move. My ultra power only works if I'm in Haven. That doesn't do a lot of good. Squid finds out that Haven's unlimited spirit effects lingers for a day after I leave. Zero's weeks away in his city. More players are on their way to Haven, and even though I have infinite spirit, I can only use it to punch people. I get killed eventually. Basically stuck. Until I notice we leveled up. I don't really give a fuck about my stats at this point, but there's a power that really catches my eye. Teleportation. I have exactly enough points to purchase it. Normally, I wouldn't have enough spirit to use it, but even so it works. Squid upgraded his fire punch. It was a good way to go. I tell Squid he can stay behind. This is going to be dangerous, so he might not come back. He tells me he's with me to the end, that he intends to see this thing through. He's got my back no matter what. In the middle of town square, Edgardo and a guy called Squid share a sweaty, shirtless, muscularly, manly hug for all the world to see. It was super homo. Actually, it does have to be touching so we can teleport us, but shut up. Okay, I broke on that one. We arrived outside the city and the seal is still up. Zero mocked us, saying he was invincible behind his wall and we couldn't do anything. This seal can withstand 1,000 times the force of anything you could possibly throw at it. People just keep forgetting. Raw spirit can't be resisted by anything. I'll just have to hit it 1,001 times harder! Bonsai! I still flinch whenever I remember typing that. So damn cheesy. And so sometimes being cheesy is good. It's fun. One more battle cry. Flow infinite spirit and nothing. Not a damn thing. Zero refused to post a natural RP after that. I think he had a stroke or something. He posted playing in discussion threads, though. Everyone did. The entire community spanned the forums, declaring I should be banned, flaying, and hung for my shenanigans. The next day, when I tried to log in, found the forums had been shut down due to popular opinion. I never saw Squid after that. We never exchanged emails or anything. I like to think that Edgardo is still frozen in that moment of time, his fist crashing through the shield and connecting with Zero's big stupid face. And Edgardo's smiling. He won. He, Squid, and Golden Harl. They won. Huh. It all happened on my anime list, apparently. Accounts in 2014, and after the story happened, actual accounts of theirs are still debated. Zero was last online in 2013. Edgardo and Golden Harl were last online in 2014. Kane was active until 2021. A guy called Squid is missing. Story was posted in 2013. That matches the story, as people indeed stopped playing right after the forum collapsed, or soon after that. It makes sense. Well, Zero was quite popular in the day. What matches the story? Next question exactly is where it was. Which club, forum, thread, or whatever. And this is one of my favorite D&D stories. I love it. It's totally an anime style. Now, this is one of those times when I think you should really talk to the players. This is why a good DM should monitor what's happening. A good mod should start paying attention. That lightning guy, he was too rude. And the mods were being total assholes. Look, sometimes we make mistakes in character creation. It happens. Sometimes we're new to this and we don't know what we're doing. It happens. Sometimes we also don't realize what we're picking. That's why you need to sit down with your player first. Tell them the rules. Tell them what's going on. Tell them what makes for a good character trait and what doesn't. Give them examples. Help them understand. When you're rude like this, you're not being some gatekeeping protector of all or some brave man. You're just being a jerk. Also, if a couple of people are not bothering you, don't start sending hordes of people or try to send out your general. Just let them do what they want. It's fine. Different people have different playing styles, especially when you're rude. These type of things are supposed to be group plays. As such, you need to talk and understand each other. Well, back to the grind tomorrow, folks.